Welcome back to the Journey of the Abandoned House, episode 13. Lucky 13. That could explain this week. The week's been a little funky. We've had, a ton of snow drop last weekend, so we spent a ton of time shoveling. And we were able to make some progress. The wall behind me has been just fighting me tooth and nail, as it has been for the last couple of weeks. And this past week has been no different at all. So let me show you what the updates are on the wall, and then we'll get to work. So right here, we've got the termination block like we did on the other wall, and the other flashing detail like usual. All right, and here's another block for a hose spigot for the backyard, and it's flashed as well. And we're all wrapped around the stone down below. That's all finished. We have the corner boards in there. And then we have this header repair. Sorry about the camera being a little bit shaky. I just lifted up these two 16-foot 2x6s up here, and I'm a little tired. But yeah, I wanted to show you something really quick. So the wall that we were working on last week, that you guys saw that we started doing the zip sheathing on, I said there's a lot of problems with this wall. And in today's little snippet, I want to show you yet one more problem that I've been fighting on this wall that you may come across. You never know. It's the first time I've ever seen it. And so, but that doesn't mean much. Might have happened to you guys. Maybe not. Maybe it'll happen to you in the future. This might be a nice little resource for you to take a look at. So, what I want to show you is that this wall here is built as a 2x6 wall. So that means it's 5.5 inches thick without the sheathing. 6 inches thick with the sheathing. And underneath it, it was overhung, essentially. And it only had an inch and 3/4 purchase on the wall below it. This is not good. Honestly, I really don't understand why this house didn't have other issues in the finish work, other than there was no sheetrock in this house. It was all paneling and drop ceilings. So that's not what we're doing. We're going to do a finished house with full sheetrock, and I want to make sure that this wall was as stable as possible. So what I've done is I've started nailing in these two 2x6s, and they're going to go full length of the wall. So from that little roof all the way across to that end. And I'm going to nail them in first, and then I'm going to use a fastener called a Fasten Master Headlock. It has a large head on it, and it'll grab as much of the outside surface here and draw it really hard into the header that's behind this. The original construction of this house was all cure porches, and the cure porches on the exterior all ran 3-ply headers, which is great for the structure, and great for us to tie into in all sorts of locations. And this is yet another one. And by doing this, I'm going to firm up this wall, and she shouldn't ever move. Ever. And one other issue you can see there is you've got this gap going on across the end there. When this is fully level, the wall itself actually pitches upward. And that's typically done because below that corner is a large pier. And then they built off those piers. And then she ends up sagging over time in the center. So we've jacked it up a fair bit and leveled out the floor systems below, and the floor system inside will get completely redone. But I want to make sure that we can put this header in here on the outside and be able to bring all my trim and my siding up to it and be nice and level, so I don't have any weird funky cuts to hide it. And so what ends up happening is I have to do a ripped cut or tapered cut from 1.125 at that end to nothing here, and then I pound those in from the outside and nail it all up, headlock it in, and it should be good to go. Yeah, exciting. Along with the trim underneath, and that has been flashed where this roof above, you'll see up there, that roof will dump down onto this roof, and so we have the flashing extending past, and the flashing right there is drip legged underneath the trim detail there. So that way when the water comes down, it just drips off. And now I believe I'm ready to start actually siding. Yesterday we tried to do some siding, but it didn't work. I was up on the roof, I shoveled the roof off and try to make it nice and clean so that we don't get dripped on all day. And it was a beautiful day yesterday. Man, was it nice. And I get done with that, and sure enough, the phone rings. Answer the phone, and it's a customer wanting me to take a look at a house that they're trying to buy. And so I agreed to go do that. And that was gonna be at 4:30, so that's gonna cut the day a little bit short. And then right after that, another phone call came in. It was my wife. She said, we've got water coming in through the kitchen ceiling. Man, okay. Now, my house is 45 minutes from this job location. So that took a 45-minute drive out there. And by the time I got there, look who joined me in the road. And then I get onto the roof, and my wife's got it pretty much shoveled off. So all I had to do was chop up some ice, put down some tarps, and secure those, and I was on my way. So I came back here. That didn't leave me much time before that little house inspection, so we just did miscellaneous stuff, trying to figure out some of the interior wall issues. So here we are, Thursday, gonna get some siding on the building. So enough talking, let's get to work. Alright guys, we're going to close it out today with this. We didn't get very far, as you can see, just the top of the back wall. I don't know what I did, but I hurt something in my back and my upper neck, and it's just shutting me right now. So Nick's going to stay here, clean things up, wrap up some miscellaneous electrical items inside, and I'm going to head home and probably start editing this video. So this is what we got done, as you can see. More next week.